Well, hello, everybody. I'm so glad you guys are here. Look at these my amazing, phenomenal co authors of this great book, Ageless Glamour Girls Reflections on Aging. I am Marquita Curtis Haynes. I'm the founder and CEO of the lifestyle brand Ageless Glamour Girls. We celebrate, empower, we like to think we motivate, and entertain women 50 plus. Because this aging journey, as we like to call it, the ageless aging journey can be tricky at times, but it's also invigorating and transforming. And one of my favorite hashtags is hashtag wisdom with age or ageless wisdom, hashtag ageless wisdom. Now, we want to wish everybody a happy Women's History Month. Woo! Yes, yes, yes. It's going to be a good month. It's going to be a great month. And it's also Ageless Glamour Girls Day. Thank you for Cheryl for coming up with that. Yay, yay, yay. Oh, yeah. Here, Ageless Glamour Girls. Yes, yes, yes. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We're on TikTok, a YouTube channel. And there's also a podcast, the Ageless Glamour Girls podcast. When it's consistent, it comes on every Wednesday. And we talk about everything, all things aging. And the only thing that's off limits is politics and religion. So we're so excited. Last month, we had a Galentine's special. I think some of you were on there for that. We had featured authors Cheryl Collier, Melinda Renzavillo, Karen Herlins, and myself. And that was so good because it was all about finding your community. So these women write about so many various subject matters that we all can relate to on this aging journey, ageless aging journey. So they did finding your community friendships. That was the first set. Now, today is the second set. Today's theme is Ageless Glamour Girls Day. Today's theme is second acts, reinventing yourself. Second acts, pivoting and reinventing yourself. Because as we know, that happens a lot. For various reasons, you might lose your job due to ageism, of course. And then just stuff happens in our lives. Life happens. And so a lot of times we have to make a pivot and we have to reinvent ourselves. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today from these amazing co-authors. So we are going to start with the first co-author, and that is going to be Lisa Bedian. Lisa Bedian is a passionate storyteller and lifelong learner. She's an Emmy Award-winning broadcaster with more than 20 Telly Awards. She's a strategy and communications executive and a sports marketing professor. Now, I have to say, Lisa and I been knowing each other a long, long, long time, maybe 30 years, I don't know, 35 years. We were raised in television together. Right. She was in sports and I was in news. And here we are. I love Lisa. So Lisa's chapter is called, let's see, where's Lisa's chapter? Oh, chapter 6 on second and third acts. Pull out your transferable skills toolbox. I love that. Lisa, tell us about your chapter.
So Marquita, it's actually 40 years that you and I know each other. But we were 6 when we met. So
that's true. Thank you for clearing that up.
That's okay. But I've had several careers over my time working. And in fact, some of my friends gave me the title of the job vagabond because the first part of my career, the first 25 years, I had all kinds of different jobs that kind of were in broadcasting and sports and some in news. And then I was in healthcare, public relations, and marketing. And I also worked in government, which is actually where I've spent the last 20 years of my career. And so what I learned is that I learned when it was to move on. And I also learned how important it is to grab those tools when you're in those different roles, because you never know when they're going to be useful for you, either in the job that you have or maybe looking out at something else that you may want to try. You've got to be open to the possibilities. And in fact, some of the jobs that I've found or been offered or talked to about happened old school in a bar.
Ooh, you go to bars, Lisa?
Well, when I was younger. Now it's wineries.
Exactly. Right. Oh my goodness. So and sometimes you have to sharpen up those tools, right?
Well, you have to. And like I said, you never know what you're going to need. And you could be in a job that you really don't like. Maybe it's the people, maybe it's the place, whatever it is, but you still can learn something there and you can be the best person you can be in that role. Because if you do that, those opportunities are going to come your way, and you're going to have chances to use those tools in your toolbox that you're putting in there.
Oh, I love that. Love that. All right. Thank you, Lisa. Now Lisa's going to read from her wonderful chapter.
Well, thank you so much, Marquita. So let me go to chapter 6, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. So I'll start out with, you've probably asked yourself, what am I doing here? Maybe you've even answered yourself like I did. There's got to be someone better, more qualified, who should be sitting in that chair today and starting this new job. Well, what was I thinking? I didn't go to the right school. My family didn't have the right pedigree, and I didn't build my career path in this direction. I was first approached about this job in a bar in Kirksville, Missouri, a small college town where I'd spent 3 great years at what was then Northeast Missouri State University. Not exactly profile material in Politico or a political science professor's curriculum vitae from an Ivy League university. Yet, I was potentially becoming one of the most politically powerful women in the state of Missouri.
Lisa, yes. Go ahead, Lisa. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's great. I mean, you just don't know where things are going to come from. Your friends, people you've met on a job, people you can strike up a conversation with on a plane. You just never know.
That is so true.
Being yourself and being open to the possibilities. And, in my bio, I call myself a lifelong learner. And I think that's really important, whether it's for your career or whether it's for wanting to age gracefully and with a lot of zest. Because if you think you've learned everything, what else is there to do? And I got a quote myself from Dolly Parton here that I thought was great. It says, I'm not going to limit myself just because people won't accept the fact that I can do something else. Woo. Isn't that awesome?
Woo! Powerful. Love that. Thank you. Thank you. Keep sharpening those tools, Lisa.
Absolutely. Fill up that toolbox. And the other thing I'll end with is those tools and those skills are not just for you. Share them with other people in your life, and especially with other ageless glamour girls.
That's right. Right. You're exactly right. Thank you for that. I did a podcast last year with a young lady, and she talked about how you can prepare yourself for, finding a job after 50, right? And that's one of the things she said. You just mentioned that connection, networking, because, you have to, because, otherwise you're going to be sending in resumes into a void for the rest of your life, right? Right.
That's exactly right, Marquita. And reading some of the stories from our other ageless glamour girls on our team, they are women who were not afraid to start a new job, start a new business for themselves. It's a great time in your life to try to do that, because at this point, as an ageless glamour girl, you have nothing left to prove to anybody. So take that chance, look at the opportunity, and seize it.
That's right. I love that. Thank you so much, Lisa. Chapter 6, on second and third acts, pull out your transferable skills toolbox. Yes, yes, and yes. Thank you. So our next author is Ciriaca Yolanda Sabio. Ciriaca is a health coach. She is also CEO of Wise and Fit 2. She offers corporate wellness programs for local businesses. I love that. And she helps women 55 plus live their healthiest lives yet. Now, Ciriaca and I have never met in person.
No.
We are actually Instagram friends. For the longest, there weren't that many Instagram accounts to cater to, women of a certain age, as ageless glamour girls. But now there are a lot. And she and I started following each other like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, Ciriaca, she has humored me on, I think, 2 occasions with some TikTok videos or something. And so thank you, Ciriaca. That's yes. She's been on the podcast. So Ciriaca, the name of Ciriaca's chapter, which is chapter 5, is choosing health span and not just lifespan. Explain that, Ciriaca.
Yeah. That's my whole philosophy of life that I have as an older woman, as an ageless glamour girl, that I've come to accept and embody. And I think it's very important because people want to live long. But my question is, how are you living that long life? I'm really about helping women stay independent and agile and vibrant, because this is such a blessing, really, for us to reach this age and thrive in it. we can still thrive. We still have so many years ahead of us. And I say, let's make the best of it. But you can only do that if you are as healthy as you can possibly be. So that's yeah. And that's why I chose, the title of my chapter, choose health span and not just lifespan, because it is a choice.
Yes, it is. It really is.
It's a choice that you have to make every single day. Because we know, ladies, that you can feel good one day and the next day is like, ooh.
Right. It's like, what happened overnight?
Before.
Right.
You got to make some choices that day, today, to live your healthiest possible life.
I love it. Okay, get to that chapter.
Okay, so I'm going to read a few chapters, but I want to read the first chapter, rather. And it starts out, I've coined myself the anti-aging disruptor, because between me and you, I really hate the whole anti-aging world. It's full of statements that engender feelings of withering away, undesirable, full of physical pain and uncomfortableness. Yeah, we may experience some of those things, but it can come from other things, not just aging. So I'm here to disrupt that thinking so that it doesn't sink into our psyche and govern how we see ourselves. As the anti-aging disruptor, I coach women to daily choose health span and not just lifespan. Can I read just one more thing?
Oh, please. Yes.
In this chapter, I'm talking about intentionally choosing health span and not just lifespan. That intention permeates my daily life. And I hope that after you read this chapter, you too will embrace the wonderful experience of aging.
Wow. Very nice. Yes. I love her chapter. I love all the chapters. These women are amazing. And you raised a good point. It's like we are living longer. For a lot of us, a lot of people are living longer.
Yeah.
And with that, though, comes a lot of problems, physical, mental, emotionally. And one of the things I read recently, and I meant to put it in the cafe, the Ageless Cafe, which is part of Ageless Glamour Girls. That's our private Facebook group, the Ageless Cafe. It talked about, if you do nothing else every day, you do some squats if you can,
Absolutely.
Even if it's holding on to a kitchen or the kitchen counter, because especially as women, because think about, we're squatters. Think about it. We squat all the time. So you.
Yeah. And I agree with you. And I agree with that. And I've seen that, they say that sitting is the new smoking. I'm sure you've heard that. And it is, because we are sitting more. We're on our computers, etc. We're sitting all day. So get up, and do a few squats.
Right.
Put some movement into your life and think. Exactly. You have to be intentional about it. Otherwise you won't do it. Really.
That's right. And I saw something else where it says, if nothing else, walk around your house for 10 or 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
You just have to keep it moving.
Absolutely.
If you can, if you're able to. Just
and that's part of what I talk about. We want to remain independent. As we grow older, we want to be independent. We want to do what's called the activities of daily living, feed ourselves, bathe ourselves, get up and walk, go to the bathroom and be able to get up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Those are things that we take for granted. But as you age, they can become more difficult, make you less independent and more dependent on others. So that's what I'm all about.
Right. And I just have to add one thing, Ciriaca, something else. You probably saw this too. I may have posted this in the cafe. A daily, something you can do throughout the day. When you're getting out of a chair, try not to, use the bars to push up. Try not to use the arms to push up. But, it can be difficult sometimes. But that's just one little tricks that you can do throughout the day to try to strengthen that lower body.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I want to take a break right quick before I get to our next wonderful co-author, and just, like I said, and just mention something else about Women's History Month. This is from womensday.com. I found some interesting elements here. This is in 1933, Eleanor Roosevelt held an all-women press conference. And I love that because she would cover issues of special interest and value to the women of the country. And so over the next 12 years, she held 348 press conferences for women reporters only. Yeah, I love that. And this is, and I didn't even know this. This is terrible. I should know this. Aretha Franklin was the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Of course, she's called the Queen of Soul. She was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987. So those are just a couple of tidbits from Women's Day. Thank you very much. Thank you. And let's see. I think we had. Oh, you know what? I want to read something to you guys that Lynn, one of our other co-authors, we're going to get to, put in the chat. I love this quote. Real queens help each other adjust their crowns. Thank you so much for that, Lynn. I love that because it's like, we have to support each other. We have to. I know it's easier said sometimes than done, but just keep on going. Just support each other any way you can. And that's because, we need each other because sometimes we get pushed to the side by other people. But we need each other. So thank you for that. So our next co-author is Dionne Jones. Now, Dionne wrote, this is her bio. The unicorn, a symbol of rarity, has always resonated with my spirit as I navigate this journey of life. I am grateful for the rarity that is me. I love that. Now, Dionne, I have to tell you about Dionne. Dionne and I have never met. She's another one of my Insta friends that, we support each other, get back to women supporting each other. I think we met maybe about 3 or 4 years ago or something on Instagram. And so she's so cool. And I meet these women, I'm like, and I see what they're doing. And every woman, we all have a story to share. Once you turn 50, hashtag ageless wisdom, we all have stories to share. So whether you don't have to have a book, if you want to come on a podcast and it will motivate other women to do something, let's talk. Come on, let's chat, as I'd like to call it, Ageless Chat Fest. Because here again, it only takes one person to move another person, and we need each other on this wonderful, liberating, but sometimes challenging and tricky journey. Now, getting back to Dionne, chapter 7. It's called The Unicorn, a journey of grace, healing, and rarity. Okay, Dionne, tell us about your chapter.
Well, first, I want to thank you, and I want to thank the Divine for connecting us on IG. You were looking for women who had ageless or aging in their profiles, and you told me I came up. So,
yes.
Awesome. So my company is Age with Vibrancy, and it just fits perfectly. So I did turn my mic down. I hope there's no feedback.
Right. You're good. You're good.
Okay. So the unicorn actually started when I was 5. And it was a way for me to, at the time, I didn't realize it, but it was a safe space. I had a neighbor who used to get me these Lisa Frank, I believe it was, all those colorful stickers. And one of my favorite stickers was this unicorn. So it just, for some reason, I didn't know at the time, but now I know now, it resonated with my spirit. And I went on a quest, and I found out basically you do have to be on a quest if you want to find a unicorn. You always find them in movies and fairy tales, and they're mystical. And sometimes now, of course, with technology, they're a little more, some of them are not nice, but I believe in the nice unicorns. So, so for me, it was a protection.
Wow.
It was a safe space.
Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Yeah, we need those safe spaces. I tell you, when you're young and, even into adolescence, you need that safe space. So Dionne, let's hear from your chapter. Hear from you and your chapter.
Well, thank you. So, I'm going to be reading from the section called Rarity.
Mm-hmm.
And like Ciriaca, I am in the wellness world. So, fitness launched my healing journey. Working out allowed me to get my physical body together and to channel my anger and my hurt into my workouts. Beginning the journey for healing was extremely difficult.
Mm.
It was easy to stay mad, hide behind the mask. It had become easy to go through the motions, be numb. A battle versus the evil that had happened to me and the happiness I sought on the other side of healing was a daunting task. Self-doubt, low self-esteem, and little to no self-worth were no place for any vibrant woman to reside. The start of my healing journey opened my eyes, heart, and mind to what was possible for my future. Therapy would take what I had begun with fitness and allow me to regain the inner essence of happiness that had been covered in decades of pain. I didn't realize I was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. The mask even had me believing I could skate by and continue to suppress my hurt that I had experienced daily. Therapy gave me back the strong sense of security I felt before the abuse. Learning that I was and am enough was empowering.
Whew. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Dionne. That just touches, because so many of us, you know, stuff happens to us in our childhood and, you know, teenager, you know, today. And, you know, sometimes you just internalize that. And then it manifests in other ways, you know, alcohol, you know, weight gain. I'm one of those shows, I think it's called My 500-Pound Life, 600-Pound Life.
600, yes.
600-Pound Life. If you look, I watch that show every once in a while, and it seems to me, I haven't seen any statistics on this, but most of the people on there were abused as children.
Yes.
You know, and they just start eating and eating and eating. And yeah, because that was their control mechanism. That was their not I mean, healing. That's how they healed, with food, you know. And so yeah, I'm so thankful that you found a place, that you came out on the other side. And I would, you know, I'm sure I would imagine it's still an ongoing journey for you.
Yes, it will be an ongoing journey. But the beautiful part for me is when I got to a point and realized that I had something to share to help other women, because I discovered there were so many women, especially unfortunately in the African American community, there's this thing of silence.
Yes.
And forcing children to be in the presence of those who have molested them and abused them, and the adults turning a blind eye to it. But through my advocacy work and working with other women, I know that if I can just get one more person to say, stop, it's not okay. You don't have to be silent. Don't try to use the Bible to change it. Don't try to use the Bible to support it. Don't try to use or respect your elders. It's like a dissertation. I know there's a dissertation bubbling out of this eventually, but for now, part of my healing was reaching out and helping other women heal as well. So I am grateful for the earth angels in my life, because it was the earth angels that kept me from being on my 600-pound life, that kept me from going on the wrong side. And because there are so many, as a recovering social worker, I experienced so many clients who didn't have a safe space, and things just went awry. But I always remember my grandmother. She always would tell me, such a time as this. She would call me Esther. And I was a little kid. I didn't know what that meant. And I know now that I was protected. My mind was protected. My spirit was protected because just for today, so that I could be here to share this, that someone that's listening, they'll know you can reach out to me. I'm a safe space. And I'm a licensed social worker, and I can help you begin your healing.
Wow.
I have a Lisa put a question in the chat for I just want to interject so that we can not miss out on everyone. But for the authors that are reading tonight, is there anything that you wish you had, written in the book that you didn't, Dionne?
Whew. Not that I hadn't included, because I'm going to go back a little bit to see how the universe works. A year ago, I was invited to a film festival because another person saw me on Instagram doing my live videos. And she said, you need to make that a show. Come pitch it. So I pitched the Age with Vibrancy show, but you have to have a little opener. So my opener was a scene from me being 16 and having a weapon pulled on me and protecting my siblings and my mother because she was in an abusive relationship. And I broke down, and they were like, you need to make that your project. Fast forward 2 months later, Marquita comes into my inbox. So this chapter is the beginning of what I was told to create into a movie.
Wow.
So this is going to be the beginning of my lifetime story.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So Marquita, you push that along, because I was like, I'm not a thespian. I don't write. That's not me. And the universe is saying, yeah, it is.
Wow, girl, that universe, you better listen, right? You better listen to it. So getting back to what you were just saying, about people calling you. So that's part of your advocacy work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And also you have a book. Tell us about your book. I love the title.
My first book is called Look Good Naked, because I am a personal trainer. And a lot of people don't know where to start. It's overwhelming trying to start your wellness journey. So I just put a simple book together on how to start. It has recipes, healthy recipes, a simple plan to follow, some explanations on what wellness includes. And I don't train for the scale. I train for the mindset. And I train, like Ciriaca said, for the movement, the flexibility, the balance, the longevity. So yeah. So Look Good Naked is, yeah.
And then your second book?
No, this one?
This is your second book?
Yes, I have a journal. Yes.
You have a journal. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yes. 30 days to self-love. So I do have.
I love it. I love it. As you get older, I mean, the young women today, I really feel bad for them, with the whole social media thing, because that, I wonder if I was a teenager now, how strong would I be to ignore the noise on social media? When you look at other women, it's like, oh my God, why don't I have that? I don't look like this. And whew. So so if you see young women struggling, please reach out to them. Please reach out to those Ageless Glamour Girls Rising. That's what I call them. They need help, and here again, it only takes one person, just one person. Thank you so much, Dionne. I so appreciate that.
Lisa, Margaret, I want to add one more thing. So,
okay.
And then we're going to clap for her. But this is a perfect example of jumping on those opportunities and being open to what the universe provides you or what comes on your way. I mean, the last year for you, Dionne, how exciting is that? And think about, if you weren't open to possibilities, you wouldn't have connected with all of us, and you would have connected with some of the other people who are hearing your message and making those changes that you're advocating for. So thank you so much.
Thank you. You all lift my spirit every time we meet.
Yay. Okay, it is now time. Thank you for that. It is now time for something else from Women's Day. Let's see. Where's my little list here? Oh, from womensday.com on American Women's History Month, I should say. Now this one is like, women couldn't get credit cards on their own until 1974. That's just mind blowing. And that was until Congress passed the Equal Credit Opportunity Act of 1974. Women couldn't get credit cards in their own name. Often they had to bring a man along to co-sign for them, according to the Smithsonian magazine. So I thought that was interesting. And one more tidbit: women make up 27% of Congress. So we need to get more of us in there. More of us in there. Yes. Let's see. Do we have a quote? Anyone? Do we have a quote in the chat? We can, let's see. Lisa, didn't you have another quote that you put in the chat? Really cool. It was a really cool.
Okay.
Quote.
So let me get back to it. So, so I don't think we read this one, which is many people will walk in and out of your life, but only true friends will leave footprints in your heart.
Ooh, that is so true. That reminds me of that other saying that people come into your life. I mean, it's not the same, but you've known that when people come into your life for a season, a reason, or a lifestyle or a lifetime, But that one, the imprint on your heart. I love that. Love that. Thank you so much. All right. And now let's see here. Moving right along to our next wonderful co-author. We have Marian Featherson. Marian is a wife, a mother, and gainfully employed for over 37 years with the same company. Woo, girl. Okay, sorry. She's like always grateful and hopeful. Now, she says butterflies represent hope. They are symbols of transformation, freedom, and rebirth. What does that sound like? Ageless Glamour Girls, right? Coming into your own. Second acts, reinventing, pivoting. Yes, and yes, please. So Marian, of course, the name of her chapter, she's chapter 11, and the name of her chapter is Butterflies. Yay, I love butterflies. So Marian, tell us about your chapter, please, and tell us about butterflies.
So I love butterflies, and I always start by saying because I've never seen an ugly butterfly. I also like butterflies because, when we think about insects and pests and that kind of stuff, well, a butterfly is a bug or a worm or insect, but no one wants to harm that butterfly. You always find people chasing the butterflies because they're pretty. They want to keep them forever. And so when I think about the different stages that a butterfly goes through, I can relate to that and think about stages that we go through as women. So that's one of the reasons why I chose butterflies. And if you are around me, you'll probably see a butterfly somewhere. I even have one tonight, if you can see it right here on my glass. But
yes,
that's why I chose
she gave me this one when I saw her.
The bookmark. Yes. But one thing I can say about this book, and then listening to the other authors, this book is powerful from the front cover to the back. And it's exciting to hear the authors read their chapters, parts of their chapters. And it was so exciting when the book came out and we finally got our copies to read what others had to say.
That's right.
And I tell everyone, no one knew what the other was writing about, but I'm telling you, Marquita, you and the publisher, Jermaine, put those chapters together, you put them in order, and I just think everything just fell right in place. So I am so happy and proud of the whole project. And I thank everyone for allowing me to be a part of it as well. So my chapter, Butterflies, thank you, chapter 11. So just in case you haven't heard, born in the South, there are certain things that we were taught. One being, anytime you walk into a room, you speak. So thanks for inviting me into your room. Hello, how are you? really, how are you today? You know, today is Friday. So honestly, how are you? I hope today is better than yesterday. I want to spend some time with you, let you know a few things about me while celebrating and acknowledging glamorous you. So when I talk to people, it's not just about me. I am genuinely concerned about how they are doing. I'm concerned about them. So my goal is to make you smile at least once today. I intend to get you up, going, and thinking. I want to let you know you are beautiful. Full.
Mm.
Okay, go ahead and get what you need. May I offer a few suggestions? So, in my chapter, I offered some suggestions for our readers and supporters. Maybe it's some water, coffee and bagel, tea and crumpets. Right about now, it's probably 5 o'clock somewhere, wine and cheese. Um, and then the list goes on. I said, don't forget your sexy specs. So, most of us have on our sexy specs to get through this. When I think of life, and what we go through, butterflies come to mind. Butterflies quietly move about with no harm or threat. Some people may think that is likened to a woman, and if all we do is move or walk about or around looking pretty. They don't know that most women are moving about making things happen.
Mm.
Believe
Mm.
me, if you stop moving, so will many things around you. Think of a few things that you do, and if you change your routine or course, it throws everyone else off.
Mhm.
Now that will get someone's attention. So I encourage you to keep it moving and look beautiful while doing it. So let me go on just a little further and cut me off, Marquita, if you need to.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Butterflies are said to be Butterflies are said to be among the most exquisite creatures in the world. Just like women, they catch the eye, come in all colors, and are just gorgeous. Like butterflies, women are mesmerizing to others. Both go through life cycles and stages. Butterflies have 4 stages. And as glamorous and ageless women, we must have at least 9 stages or 9 lives
Mm.
to do all that we do. Just like a butterfly, we go through stages in life that makes us who we are,
Mhm.
resulting in one of nature's most elegant creatures.
Mm. Ooh. Okay. Woo. I got chills.
The
Thank
last
you.
thing, oh, the last thing being in the South, let me turn a few pages here.
Uh-huh.
The last thing I will share about being born in the South, I was told, don't wear out your welcome. I'm going to keep it in line with my good home training. So here's to you, my sisters and friends. Yes, I have one hand and index finger up like they did in church as they eased out. So I want to say thank you to the co-authors, Marquita, and thank you to our supporters and listeners that are with us this evening.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. I love her chapter too. I love all the chapters, but I remember one of the things that stuck with me about your chapter is I felt like I was in a spa or coming home into a spa day, and you're like, okay, take your shoes off and do this, and get some wine and do this. You know, you just take us through the motion, which I love because we need that. We need that self pampering, that self care all the time, right? Now, let me tell you how Mary and I
Well, I guess
met.
my mission is accomplished.
Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said, I guess what my mission was accomplished. I was
Yeah,
taking you through some
exactly,
things. I said, my mission
exactly.
was accomplished. Okay.
Exactly. Now, let me tell you how Mary and I met. We met last year. My husband had a reunion. No, it was a birthday party for one of his classmates, and it was in Atlanta. And I mean, I didn't know most of the people there, of course. And so, I'm sitting at the table. I dance for my husband. He's old. He's here. He's there, and I'm sitting there pretending to talk about phone. You know the scene. And I would talk to people every once in a while. So I looked across and see Mary and I have a different memory of what happened. So I looked across the table, and Marian was sitting by herself at the table next to me. and so I got up and went over there and introduced myself. And that's how Marian became a part of the book. But yes, I'm so glad we did that. So glad we met Marian.
Same here. Thank you.
Oh, see, I know. See, you're gonna tell your story one day, your other story, how you what happened at that party, but we're gonna save that for another day. Thank you, Marian. Butterflies, love it, love it. Let's see here. All right, let's get back to Women's Day, with their Women's History Month fun facts. Let's see. I have another in here I wanted to read. Oh, here they are. And you know this already, I'm sure. Women outnumber men as they get older, right? Women outnumber men as they get older. Let's see. It says women age 85 and older outnumber men by about 2 to 1. Because we take care of ourselves. Yeah, we take care of ourselves better, in my opinion. Now, another fun fact: more women are earning college degrees than men. I kind of knew that one. Now, sadly, the gender pay gap still persists, and women of color are paid even less. And mothers are less likely to be hired. So, and this is a really good article, fun facts, and they quote. I'm all about giving credit where credit's due. So they do list all their resources in their article. But I just thought I'd share that with you. And let's go to another. Let's see. We have a couple of questions in there. Let's see. Blum, blum, blum. I can read this. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's talk about our chapters. Somebody wrote, is there something? I think we already ask this one? If someone, okay. Now, this is for me. Allison from New Jersey wants to know how Marquita came up with the idea for Ageless Glamour Girls. I thought you never asked. No, I'm just kidding. Well, when I was younger, it goes back to my mother and my parents. My mother used to call me Glamour Girl. That was one of her little pet names for me, Glamour Girl. And she loved lipstick. She wore red lipstick. She was a corporate, award-winning corporate computer person, analyst person when the computers were bigger than refrigerators and all that. And Daddy was a postal worker. And they used to always say, get a government job, get a government job. Sometimes I wish I would have listened to them. But she always, called me Glamour Girl. And it was for her and Dad, it was all about books, right? Books, learning. Mom was a math whiz. Daddy was the English king. And so the combination of them helped fuel my soul. Thank you for that. And so it's like she called me Glamour Girl, and I saw her. She was doing the career thing. She had 3 kids, or 3 of us. And she did her career thing, but yet she sold all of these dresses, and she always looked great. I remember her telling us when we were kids, like my sister and I, my younger sister and I, she's like, I don't care if you're going outside to change your take out the trash. You make sure your hair is combed. And something else she used to tell us when we were younger, I remember this. She's like, don't wear any dirty underwear, right? Dirty panties. She's like, because if you're in an accident, at least, even if your panties have holes in them, at least they will be clean. And that was always her thing. And so as I got older, there was not much out there about menopause, on the market anywhere. And I just remember one of the things that I did was I was looking for a mascara that stayed on, during a hot flash and stuff. And then added to that, one day I woke up and there was this huge, giant, like spare tire around my waistline. And I just started looking for answers for that. And then I was like, I know I'm not alone. And so I said, oh, my mother called me Glamour Girl. And, her thing was always beauty inside out and brains and all of that. And so that's how I said, I came up and said, oh, you know what? I'm going to start this group, Ageless Glamour Girls. And I started it back in, I think, 2007 and 6. Maria was with me. And we went to a women's conference in Miami. We had a great time at that. And yeah, the brand itself has gone through, a couple of changes as a lot of brands and companies do, with the logo. And I want to tell you about this logo. Since you asked, I know you didn't, but I love this, the lips. The tagline of Ageless Glamour Girls is bold, beautiful, and brilliant. And the lips, you may notice that they're a little bit, they go up, but at the end, they're a little bit faded. They're not as vibrant, but they're still there. They're still relevant. They're still kicking butt, and they're going up. And like, here we go. Here we go. We're still relevant. We're still here. Let's keep it moving. And so now, with Ageless Glamour Girls, it's a community. I like to think of it as a community where we can come talk about different things and highlight different women. And you didn't ask all that. You just asked about how we got started. So so that's all I'm going to say right now about Ageless Glamour Girls. I'll say some more at the end, but wow, that was thanks for that question out of New Jersey. Thank you very much, Allison. So we're going to get to our final phenomenal co-author, and that is Lynn Venhause. Lynn is a longtime journalist with a nose for news who lives at the intersection of arts and pop culture. She's a mother of 2 boys, and Lynn says, this is a quote, "I hope my 5-year journey in navigating grief and loss can help others turn pain into purpose." Pain into purpose. So here again, another chapter that's so relatable. And I'm just so thankful these women open up their hearts and share their stories with us, with the world. Lynn's chapter is chapter 8. It's called "You Are Not Alone, Dealing with Grief and Loss." Thank you so much, Lynn. Tell us about your chapter.
Well, thank you. When I ask you what should we write about, you said whatever you want. And I thought, well, grief has been so prominent in my life the last 5 years that maybe I could help others, because this is a journey that until you have a loss, you haven't been through, and you can't really explain to people. And I notice at our age, we have had a lot of loss. And in the past 5 years, my 35-year-old eldest son passed away. And then 9 months later, my brother, who had a terminal illness, passed away at age 59. And then 2 years ago, my father figure, my dear Uncle Charlie, he was the man in our lives after my parents divorced when I was 7. And he died at age 90. He wanted to get to 90. And he was in hospice, and he just clung on till his birthday. And a couple of days later, that was it. So I've seen all of them. I've seen the sudden death. I've seen the slow journey into death. And I've seen a man who had a life well lived. And I thought, what do we take away from these experiences we have? Because during the pandemic, I think it was really hard for people because we were having a lot of loss because people were dying of COVID. And there was a term I heard called disenfranchised grief, like, oh, people should be over it. It shouldn't take so long. And I was just like, grief is such a personal journey. There's no right or way to experience it. And it made me mad that people expected you to act this one way, because that's ridiculous. There's no timetable. And people were almost apologetic, like, I still feel loss. And there's going to be a before and there's going to be an after. And it's up to you to figure out your after, because it does. I say it was like my arm was cut off after my son died. Like, you can live with it, but it's never the same. And people who minimize your experiences. And then I remember people would come up to me and, give me condolences, and they would say, and then I'd hear like their grandpa died or their dad died. And I would say, oh, I'm so sorry. And they go, well, it's nothing like yours. And I would be like, loss is loss.
Loss is loss.
Your dog that you had for 8 years, that's like your fur baby. And when people, that's a loss. And I think people just are so apologetic about how they feel. And I just wanted to share my experiences with how I felt and what I did about it. And I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert, but this is what I went through and this is what I feel. And I remember hearing this Gloria Steinem quote, speaking of First Day of Women's Month, was she said, the healing is in the telling. And I think just the last 5 years, if I wouldn't have had other people to lean on, I don't know where I would be. And I just want to tell people, you know, how you feel is legit, and reach out. There's no shame in saying, hey, I need some help with this. So here is a couple things that I wrote. As we all are painfully aware, loss is a fact of life, and everyone processes grief differently. It is not something you get over. Instead, it is something you learn to live with, and it is a struggle. It's an unfathomable depth of sorrow, unlike anything else. One you can't know, understand, or explain until it happens to you. Of course, your routine is forever altered, and that ache will always be in your heart. Little things will blindside you. Triggers will set off waterworks at the unlikeliest times and places. The grocery store, a song on the radio, a photograph. And I just remember just learning to live with that. Like, okay, I'm crying at the grocery store. Deal with it, you know, because like, okay, here I, you know, here I am. And another thing was, what's the takeaway? Human connections are crucial to health, physical and mental. Having solo pity parties won't move us forward. Seek counseling if you feel stuck. There's no shame in getting help that you need. All we can do is our best. I confront inertia. Concentrating can be difficult. However, distraction is easy. I remind myself of the serenity prayer. I can only work on what I can control and accept what I can't control. Finding purpose is a way to carry on. And I just want to let people know that you aren't alone, and reach out. I don't know. I mean, had we not had support when facing these big challenges, I don't know how we could have endured. I recommend leaning on others as the best advice I can give. Do not shut people out. Take people up on their offers to help. Peace and comfort are elusive, but reaching out and being there is such a gift from another person. It's soothing, heart-tugging, and means so very much because people want to help. And then there are those, you know, there's those, and you've heard them. People don't know what to say to you. And it's awkward. And I just want people to know that's just going to happen. So I want to end with a Maya Angelou quote because she's one of my all-time favorites, and I quote her often. And I love this. My wish for you is that you continue to be who and how you are. To astonish a mean world with your acts of kindness. Continue to allow humor to lighten the burden of your tender heart.
I love that. Thank you, Lynn, so much. And so many of us can relate to your story. Oh my gosh, thank you. Here again, it takes just one. Somebody might read your chapter and just relate. I see some people in the chat are talking about it right now. So thank you so much. And so Lynn and I go way, way, way back too.
Yeah, 40 years. Yeah, 40 years. Like you
guys are trying to out me with my age. I'm just kidding.
Well, we were starting out. We were in our 20s. We were working at a community newspaper chain, and I remember you breezing in, and I had been there a while, and it was so refreshing to have you in the newsroom. And you know, it was this dumpy little office, and this is pre-computers. We had what we called like VDTs, MBTs, and it was nuts. But Marquita and I'm going to embarrass you, but I'm embarrassing myself too. There was a celebrity basketball game, and we were asked to be on it. And we were like, oh, we are not celebrities, you know. But we were young and pretty fit, I would say, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there was a CBS a sports figure that was going to be there, Jane Kennedy. I think, wasn't she like a former beauty queen or
She was
something?
a singer, right?
I'm not sure, but she was going to be at the game, and Marquita and I
So
were all
sorry.
Marquita and I were all
Mhm.
nervous, like,
Mhm.
oh my God, we're going to be sweaty, and she's just going to be glowing,
It's
and
beautiful.
she's going to look good. But then we got there, and she was so lovely, but she wasn't
Yes,
going to
she
play.
was.
She was just going to be in her closet. And Marquita and I were looking at each other like, oh God, please don't put us in this game,
Yes,
please.
and you have pictures. You have pictures. I want to see those pictures.
I
The
know. I wish
pictures.
I had more. I wish I had more.
Yes, yes.
But actually,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was fun. But it was just fun to see us in our younger selves and how much energy we had. And I remember Marquita went over to a local TV station in St. Louis, and then she got the big New York offer. And I remember you telling me we were at
Mhm.
we saw each other at a function, and you quoted Oprah Winfrey as saying, "Luck is opportunity meets whatever."
Oh, yes. You know what? She must have stole that from my mother. Because my mother used to say that. She stole that from my mother. Oprah, shame on you. But yeah,
No,
oh my God, that is
what was it
oh,
like?
that is
Luck meets preparation.
right. Prep, yeah. Opportunity is when preparation, success is when preparation meets opportunity or something like that. Yeah, yes. So thank you. But when Lynn first came to me, when I first came to her about the book, she's like she mentioned earlier, can I write she says, I don't want to write anything about downer. She says, but grief. I'm like, you better write that story. You tell your story. And you did so beautifully. And we really, really appreciate you. And appreciate that. And all of these women, I mean, let me tell you guys, this book, I'm getting chills right now. I just nothing but God. In my brand, religion and politics are off limits, but God. Um, here's some of the chapters. Chapter 1, The Birth of Ageless Glamour Girls. That's me. Then Sandy Badash, who's in her 80s, she's here. She'll be here next month. Aging My Way. Melinda Renzavillo. Hi, Melinda. She read hers last month. Finding Joy. And then Karen also read last month. Remember, we talked about community last month. And her chapter was The Antidote to Aging is Belonging. And then you met Ciriaca tonight with Choosing Health Span and Not Just Lifespan. And you met Lisa, and of course, Dionne and Lynn. Cheryl also was featured last month. My Grand Journey. She lives in a multi-generational household. It was a beautiful, beautiful story. All of them are. And next month, I'm going to tell you guys, keep the date open, April 13th. The theme is going to be Live Your Best Ageless Life, and it's going to feature Sandy Badash, Aging My Way, and then Maria Gonzalez. Hi, Maria. Her name of her chapter is Life Lessons and Observations of a Mother. And then Pat is not on here. Patricia de Samore. Well, the name of her chapter is A Golden Life. And Leah Irene Victoria, her chapter is Sweet Inspiration. So we're going to have another good time on April 13th. And
that's going to be a brunch, right? That's going to be a brunch. We're going to do that on a Saturday, lunchtime. Yay.
What would I do without you? Yes. So 1 o'clock in the afternoon, a brunch. So we're going to have mimosas and yeah.
Melinda just put something in the chat. She says, people are asking, will there be another book? Are we all on?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. We're working on a second book. We're now accepting applications or chapters. Anyone interested, send me a note to info@agelessglamourgirls.com. Info@agelessglamourgirls.com. I'm so excited because this one is so well received. And as I said, once you turn 50, everybody has a story. We all have stories to share. And you don't know who you're going to touch, who you're going to inspire, who you're going to motivate along the way. And that's the whole thing about Ageless Glamour Girls. It's a community. We want to come together. There's so much more that's on the agenda. We'll see if it all comes. We'll see if everything that I have on paper will come to. But I'm just so thankful and blessed.
Someone asked, I'm sorry, Marquita. Someone had asked Dionne where her journal was, because we're almost out of time.
We can go over a few minutes. It's not like our television news days, Cheryl. I don't think it's going to cut us off at 7, 8 o'clock. I don't know.
we're gonna get cut.
Oh shoot. Okay.
No.
I put it in the Facebook chat. I dropped the link.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. In Facebook. Okay.
Unfortunately, it came like that. But if you click it, it goes right to it. I don't know why it did that, but
Oh,
Amazon was not being friendly today.
Right. You do see that sometimes. I've been seeing that a lot recently. It's like a gazillion words for one link. I'm like,
I don't.
There's a way to make it shorter, but I don't remember how.
Right.
Well, usually when I share it, it's just directly is there, but this time
But
it goes the whole book.
Thank you. And I'm so thankful. Nothing but God. I'm so thankful that all of these women have come into my life some one way or another. Like I said, some of them I have never even met. But that's where social media does come in by. Karen and I used to work in New York together. We won't say CBS, whatever. But she and I haven't seen each other in what,
27 years.
27 years. Oh my goodness. And so what happened? I was on Instagram minding my own business, and up pops Karen's post. I'm like, oh my God, that's Karen. How was she doing? So I text her, and then I'm like, okay, I should ask her if she wants to be in the book, And sure enough, so I text her, and she's like, oh, well, let's see. Tell me more. And I'm just so thankful that she came. And also, guys, the first part of the one I mentioned, our Valentine's Day special, is up on where is it? It's on YouTube, I believe, on the YouTube channel. If it's not there, let me know and I'll put it up there.
It's there.
The antidote to aging is belonging. And we talked about that because come on, you have to have community. You have to reach out. You cannot live this life by yourself. And if you know anyone who's living by themselves, a woman, of course, we're all talking women here, but, give that person a call because, a lot of us, a lot of people, women, they have those siblings, they may have lost everybody in their family. And, we have to stick together and we have to reach out to women. Just call them and try to get together, even if you're getting together with your friends once a month. Because I was reading this article, they said, even when you're with your friends and you hug or do it in conversation, someone might touch your arm like that. And that sends positive signals to your heart. And that's what it's all about. We have to stay together and get together in community. Community is crucial. And I'm hoping that's what Ageless Glamour Girls is for women and will continue to be more so as we grow. There's so much out there. Like this year, a record number of people are turning 65 years old. And that's going to continue. That's right, Cheryl. See, that was me last year. And,
I'm super excited.
It's me a long time ago.
I don't know why I'm so excited, but I keep getting emails and texts about Medicare. So it must be a fun thing. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
You get those for a year.
Oh my goodness. I'm like,
oh my God. That is so true.
AARP people are stuck.
Well, I was excited about AARP. They bugged me for 5 years before I could even get it.
Yes, they do.
Yes. So as you can see, you guys, these women are just phenomenal. I just love them. And I'm so grateful. Here's the back of our book. There they all are. In their Ageless Glamour Girls t-shirt. And speaking of t-shirts, they're coming soon. I'm still working on that store. But if you want a book, we're going to give away a book tonight. This book right here, which you can find it at Amazon, of course, and other book retailers. But Amazon is the fastest, even when in a day or two. But we're going to give away a book. Just drop a line at info@agelessglamourgirls.com. Again, that's info@agelessglamourgirls.com, and put in there. Let's see, what do we put in here for tonight?
Code word is
Second act.
Second act.
Yeah.
Thank you. Put that in the subject line, second act. And that way we know that you were here. And we will send you, as soon as they're printed up, an Ageless Glamour Girls t-shirt. Bold, beautiful, brilliant. There it is.
Yay.
Ageless Glamour Girl t-shirt and a book. So info@agelessglamourgirls.com. Submit that there. And also, if you're interested in becoming for our next volume, and we would love to have you. Love to have you. Everybody, we all have stories,
Mhm.
right?
Yes,
And
we
Yeah.
do.
let's share them. Let's share our stories. And so thank you again for your support. We have a podcast, the Ageless Glamour Girls podcast, comes out on Wednesdays, most times. And here again, it talks all things aging. Some of our past subject matter have included self-care tips. I mean, tips if you're in the caregiving business. Oh my God. And we're all been in that business, right? Oh my God. We've all been in, self-care, not self-care. I'm sorry. Caregivers. We've been
Yes.
caregivers, and then in a few years, who knows, somebody might be having to take care of us. And so we talked about that. We talked about tips on how to take care of yourself if you're caring for other people. We talked about finding your bliss after 50. We've talked about finding a job after 50. We talked about the one that I dropped the other day was from 22. It's my second podcast, but it was so good. I loved it because it was about broken heart syndrome. It goes much deeper than, I mean, yes, it's horrible to lose a mate, but it's other stuff too. If you have a huge argument with your child or somebody, or, if you're really upset about losing a job, you can bring on heart syndrome, broken heart syndrome. So make sure you check that out. We've also had one on how menopause impacts our sexual health. Yeah. And ways you can get your groove back. Yeah. Let's see, what else have we discussed? Let's see, finding your bliss. Oh, we've had Cheryl. I mean, we've had Ciriaca on there, talked about her lifespan. We've had Dionne on there, and some of the other women have participated in what we love to call the Ageless Chat Fest, and that's a group of women where we just talk stuff just like now. And I know we should have gotten off 7 minutes ago, but here we are. Oh, here I am. We love to talk. We love this. I love this group of women. Love this group. And one day we're going to get together. And look out for book signings coming to you in a city near you. And if anybody wants some of us to come to your town for a book signing, put that at info@agelessglamourgirls.com. Just say book signing, please, info@agelessglamourgirls.com, and we can see what happens with that. And there was one more question I wanted to get to in the chat from someone.
Marquita, I think we should remind people, if you have the book, we'd love for you to review it on Amazon.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. We appreciate you guys. Do that, please. I have to post those too. We have 2 up there so far, and they're really, really good. But here's the book. Yay. And here's the back. Yay. Full of so much ageless wisdom, motivations, all of that. All the things, as the young people say, all the things. And you have to check it out. And we'll see you in the cafe on Facebook. It's a private group. Just, come on in there with us in the cafe and on Instagram. And and these women, they're amazing. They have so much to offer. And so you see they have businesses and all of that. And we're going to do this again next month so you can meet some more women. Yes. It's going to be called Best Ageless Life. Thank you, everybody. I love you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Yay.
See you April 13th.
Yes.
Stay on till we're done.
All right.
Spring forward.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't hang up.